This is C-Day for 4 men and 4 women set to begin a 2-year experiment and adventure. The C stands for closure, and in just a few hours they will be sealed into Biosphere 2.
In 1991, 8 trained and carefully selected humans entered the Biosphere 2, the largest ever constructed closed ecological system ever created. Its total 3.14 acres featured artificial biomes, including a rainforest, an ocean complete with a coral reef, wetlands, and grasslands, plus 3,800 species of plants and animals.
And if you look into the distance there, you can see a gentleman walking out of that hatch in the distance. That hatch at 8:15 this morning will be sealed after the 8 biospherans enter, and it will remain sealed for the next 2 years as those biospherans conduct all sorts of experiments and studies for that 2-year period.
Built since 1987 in Oracle, Arizona, the experiment was designed to be a self-sustaining habitat to demonstrate how humans could survive on Mars. As it's the planet with the most similar conditions to Earth and the second closest planet, it's long been a quest by certain humans to travel there and colonize it. One of Biosphere 2's principal creators, John P. Allen, was described by Texas Monthly thusly. He believes that the human race has 300 million to 5 billion years left, and that the only way for mankind to achieve cosmic immortality is for humans to create biospheres as space seeds and to colonize planets like Mars. So Biosphere 2 planned to demonstrate with ingenuity, planning, and over $200 million, or nearly $500 million in today's money, how that could be done. The 8 crew members entered the Biosphere 2 on September 26, 1991, and wouldn't emerge until September 26, 1993. A bunch of drama ensued, including 2 separate cliques in the crew, a power struggle, cockroach infestations, food running out, lawsuits, a restraining order, a break-in, and a chunk of the scientific advisory committee for the program resigning. And shortly before the crew members re-entered the world, the Arizona Daily Star listed out all of the things brought into the Biosphere 2, which was supposed to be self-sustaining, mentioning that the airlock doors had been opened nearly 27 times. While some scientific discoveries were made, and one biospherian named Mark Nelson wisely assessed that it's so clear in here that if the environment is unhealthy, we are unhealthy, critique of the overall project was harsh, with Time magazine writing, "Now the veneer of credibility, already bruised by allegations of tamper-prone data, secret food caches, and smuggled supplies, has cracked. The 2-year experiment in self-sufficiency is starting to look less like science and more like a $150 million stunt." Biosphere 2 inspired the 1996 comedy movie Biodome, and you can learn more about the experiment and its follow-up, as well as its connection to Steve Bannon in this episode's glossary on Patreon. But for now, the importance of this story is that it was funded by Texas billionaire Edward Bass, who buried his aspirations for future humans to colonize Mars as a creative endeavor meant to forge a new environmental ethic. He'd say about space colonization, "It's an interesting concept. It's certainly a potential enterprise for the next century. It's not something I occupy myself with greatly today." But then and future billionaires, from business magnate Richard Branson to Amazon's Jeff Bezos to Elon Musk, were lusting after space travel and eventual colonization. In 1996, aerospace engineer Robert Zubrin released The Case for Mars, detailing a plan for the first human contact with Mars. There was little fanfare or government interest, and 2 years later he founded the Mars Society, a global group to make a human landing on Mars possible through active fundraising in the public and particularly private sector. At the group's first convention, they argued over the ethics of terraforming, or altering a planet's environment to become more like Earth. Even before the space race blossomed in the next decade, there were concerns about the ethics of intergalactic colonization and the reality that there were still problems to solve on Earth. Scientific ethics were a recurring feature of the 90s.